And we're live. Let me make this screen bigger so you can see. Create. Alright, let's see. Bring this over here. There we go.
Change the color.
Change the color or change the
well, because the green is like
yeah
clashing with that. Last time it was purple.
See if I can
that
make
purple
it different.
is not. I don't like that purple.
I don't think they give you an option that.
Can everybody hear me?
I'll let you change the color. It's weird.
Can y'all hear me?
I should be able to hear you.
Ethan Seal, haven't seen him in a while.
Here we go.
All right, folks. Let's get this started. I'm here. It's Tuesday. I try to be here even when I got stuff going on, which I got stuff going on, believe me. It's one thing, my shoe is untied. See if I can get this done at least. Looks like it froze up. That's great. Yeah, the purple is hard to see. People keep saying that. It's hard for me to see. I can't see who's saying what with that purple.
Let me just change it. Like it doesn't give the option to change like what.
That's better than the different colors.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so they can't. I think they can't see us, but they should still be able to hear us.
Okay, something's going on with the camera. We're gonna have to figure it out, folks. In the meantime, it says here the green and red doesn't look good. Well, we keep trying.
Can't please everybody.
Try to get the best look we can. Get this chat room filled up here. Pink is manly. Well, pink, it seems like it's easier to see.
You may just have to use a webcam. I mean the
Great. So this
camera.
This expensive piece of crap is not working now.
Oh, it is. No, I think it's this program. Because I changed this one to be a low latency stream, so that there's less of a delay between when their chats pop up. And if you do that, I guess if the internet's not up to par for it, then it could cause issues.
So it's the internet?
It's probably just not fast enough for a low latency stream. From now on, we have to stick to a normal latency.
So are we on the camera here?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
Right here, like this is what they're seeing right now. So now they can see us.
But the picture looks fuzzy. It looks. Are we using the computer webcam or?
No, this is the webcam. I mean, this is this camera right here.
The quality doesn't look as good.
It's probably just dark. Let me turn the little bit light up.
Like it looked different before. Now I look like I have a filter on my face. We'll get it here in a minute, folks.
Yeah. Let me see. Make this bigger.
I have a box so I can read it better, yeah. There we go. Anthony Wallace, I was wondering if you could come on my show, Real Supernatural Encounters, and tell some of your stories. Maybe do an episode of my show for like an hour, a little over, when you get time. Do you have my information? My email, we're going to start with that. My email is Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com. Josh Turner, can you go outside? I can't. Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com. Send me your stories. Anthony Wallace, let me see if I can scroll back and see if I can find your question again. Yeah, so that was for you, Anthony. Are you Anthony, are you on my Facebook? Send me a message on here. Also, because I am going to start trying to do more shows. I get asked about once a week to do a show with other people's shows, and I always just tell them, yeah, I'll try, and then I'm just so busy. It's not anything personal, folks. It's just that it just seems to be our busy schedule. We just picked up another account that's supposed to start like tomorrow, 24 hours, not even how we're going to cover it. I have been going through a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to stay grounded and focused and not I'm trying not to let it get to me. Just let it roll off my back. Everyone who is listening, if you're not a member of Paranormal Round Table group in Facebook, please join. Paranormal Encounters, Paranormal Lounge, and A Whisper to a Scream. Those are our groups. It is me and Nelly and Tony Mushu, as they call him, and also Anthony, or Flacco, as I call him. That's my nephew, and Zane, who's my other nephew, my brother's son. And then my brother D, or Diablo, Scorpion, my best friend, and Ryan Tremblay. That's kind of our squad. That's our team, and part-time chief, actually, who does investigations for me and gets me stories. He sends me stories. I want to promo him real quick. He's got a Texas Catch Wrestling. It's something that I told him I would promo for him. We are one of the sponsors. He has a school. He has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school called Arcanum Combat. He's one of my old friends and one of my former, what would you call him, an acolyte? What would you call a chief? One of my understudies.
Former pirates.
That's out. That's beside. That's a whole different ball of wax. What I'm talking about is the fight game, and he was one of my.
Texas backwards on
Oh, is it? Yeah. Is it backwards?
There we go.
Let me fix that. Chief is one of my former understudies years ago. I coached boxing, did a lot of stuff back in the day. And so Anthony is actually going to be training with a buddy of mine. I'm going to have him learning how to kick with my friend Chris Trammell. He's on my Facebook. If anybody's interested in learning kickboxing, he's a Muay Thai fighter and a kickboxing coach. His name is Trauma. His real name is Chris Trammell. If you go to another one of my friends, he's had over 50 professional fights. His name is Deuce King. He's also an MMA trainer. These are all good friends of mine. Chief, of course, everybody, Christopher Flores. If you're interested in learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you're in the Austin area, these are the guys to go to. And of course, the boxing, my friend of mine from the Golden Gloves days is a boxer, good guy, Tony Duran. I'm going to have him coaching my nephews. So anyways, those are the guys that I used to, that I respect. And if you want to learn how to fight, you're in the Austin area. They all train out of the same gym. They rotate in and out. And Cooper's right up the street. It's where Tim Kennedy trains. I don't know if you know Tim Kennedy. He's an MMA guy. Used to train with a really good kickboxer that so anyway, those are the MMA guys if you want to learn how to fight and you're in the Austin area. And Chief is going to be doing a live stream of his school, Arcanum Combat, in a catch wrestling tournament in Houston, which is coming up. I think this coming weekend is the fight. So if you're interested in any of that, hit me up for details if you're into the fight thing. I know a lot of fighters. Also, wanted to talk about the art contest, because there's a little bit of confusion there. The Willie Williams art contest. This month is Chupacabra. Okay, Jason McFadden, and Jason, if you're listening, you kind of threw everybody for a loop and got everybody kind of, because you drew a beautiful picture of a dog man fighting a goat man, which was really cool. However, you kind of confused people because they thought, oh, this is for the contest. So now I got people trying to draw. They said, I thought Goat Man was over. And I said, yes, but now they're trying to draw Dog Man. I said, you can draw Dog Man, but that's not what the contest is this month. This month is Chupacabra. The winner, of course, gets $100. The second place gets $50. Third place gets $25. And then we have a bunch of prizes and stuff to go along with that. Here's the thing. If you want to enter in the contest, this is something I went over with Ashley Clapstein. You can, like Douglas Jones, he was the winner, the first and second place of the last contest. If DJ, I'm gonna call him DJ. That's pretty cool. He's got an easy, name. We can just put his initials on there. Like I told DJ, you can enter as many times as you want. You can draw 3 or 4 or 5 pictures and enter them. And if you win it all, you win it all. I mean, if you come in first, second, third place. So yeah. So anyways, that's what's going on with that. And like I said, Ethan, it was good to see you back in the chat room. We were wondering what happened to you. We thought maybe we'd lost you. We thought maybe you'd gone beyond the edge or something and not come back. So I've been trying to find a Whisper to a Scream on Facebook, and all I see is a naughty page. I just went in on this because I'm interested. Okay, a Whisper to a Scream podcast with Ryan Tremblay. Look that up, because that is what it is. It says here, I want to be a wrestler. Okay, Ryan, if you want to be a wrestler, then you need to look up on my Facebook. You need to look up Lance Hoyt or Chico Cortez. Those two are professional wrestlers. Chico is a luchador, and Lance Hoyt is with New World Japan and was in WWE for several years. So those are the guys to talk to about that, if that's what you're interested in. If you want to be in the NFL, you need to talk to Clay Pickering. I got a couple of NFL guys on there. One of them I used to be roommates with years ago. And anyway, Clay Pickering is a good guy. He's a listener of the show, and so shout out to him. He used to play for the Cincinnati Bengals. So send me your questions. Okay, you got the list. All right, so here we go with the Patreon, the producers of the show, because you guys and your donations and the pay through the Patreon help pay for the show and give us our time off to do the show. Russell Nash, Guy, still don't have a last name, we'll just call you Guy. Desiree Taylor, Don Wells, Melissa Panay, Derek Tribble, Rudy Gutierrez, Andrea Krask, Patrick Nickerson, Shannon, no last name, Dick Richards, Joyce Brunette, Wendy Page Williams, Earl Bowers, Barbara Blindy, Martin Hertel, Terry Fusilier, Chris Clough, Curtis Turner, Philip Morn, Alexander Murphy, Matthew Durgo, Chris Smith, and Ralph Ayub. And I thank all of you, each and every one of you, for being helping with the show. Can you do me a favor? Can you try calling Matt? Now that you can go out there and do it and see if you can get a hold of him, just say, hey, are you going to be able to let us call you? We can call from the computer, right? Okay. Lamp of Light, I really think it's real. What are you guys talking about? What's real? Yes, thank you, Susan. They do need to hit the like button. It's greatly appreciated. Does anybody know any NBA guys? Years ago, when I was at a bar downtown, David Robinson was there. God, this was years ago, and he was doing dealing blackjack, I think it was, for a charity event. And I just got to sit down and with this other guy who would be considered a gangster, and we played blackjack with him for drink tokens or whatever. So I don't know. That was years ago. Somebody's asking about me. He's talking about our way of life. Our way of life is the Texas way of life that seems to have been, that is kind of being shattered right now because we are getting a humongous, large influx of people from other states, in particular California and Chicago. And they want us to conform to their way of life rather than the other way around. Texans are big barbecue people, you know, and a couple of years ago they tried to pass a law that we couldn't barbecue in our own. This is true, okay? We could not barbecue in our own backyards because they were offended by the smoke. So that's what we're dealing with. They have priced us out of our neighborhoods. They've created a homeless crisis, basically. $2,000 a month is on average what a house is the price the house is going up. We have a housing crisis here now that you can't get a house or land, because I've figured that out. I've been trying for the last 2 years, and I've had deal after deal go through it and fall through. They always want more money, and it's like, you know, you just can't win for losing. An acre, my hometown, is now going for like $160,000 to $200,000. It's like unreal. That's like 30 miles outside of Austin. And houses have gone from, you know, what I could have bought 2 years ago for $325,000 is now going for like $525,000. So that's a problem. What, did you get hold of him?
Some message.
But that's a problem. So oh, you just typed him a message?
Yeah.
Okay, I did that already. That's why I said you need to try to call him
on Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can get a hold of him and tell him that, because we were supposed to do it. So you love, somebody says they love me and my great sense of humor. I appreciate it. I try to be as dumb as possible with my humor. How did everybody enjoy the latest installment of the Hernandez Ranch? It's pretty crazy stuff, what these people are going through. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Okay, I'll take that back. There's a lot of people I probably wish it on because I'm not like that. I actually hope my enemies are boiled in hot oil. But most people would say that they would not wish that on their worst enemy. I wish a lot of things on my worst enemies, but they're gonna get theirs in the afterlife anyway. So it's not for me to go and boil them in hot oil. Yeah, the Hernandez Ranch, the people, they're actually good folks. I know them, and they're not bad people. And to have to go through what they're going through with all that is just an unfortunate thing. And I sympathize and I feel bad for these people because they're having to deal with a problem that most of us would never ever dream of, and that is to be haunted and attacked and harassed by evil entities. I got a story recently from a young lady, and there's something that me and Ryan did, both of us. And it's about the Goat Man. And after this is over with, I'm actually going to be recording with Ryan. We're gonna step it up and try to knock out a couple episodes. I got a lot of material to go over. So does he. He got a new computer. So Ryan's got his new computer. We're happy about that. God provides for his people. And so he got his computer. It's going to be up and ready to go. We're going to record tonight, and we're going to do an episode of Goat Man, which is going to release on Sunday. Okay, this coming Friday, I have an interview releasing with Carrie Eaton. Is that correct?
Yeah, Carrie Eaton.
And she's going to talk about a werewolf encounter she had. Here's the thing, folks. If you see my shirt, you see that? I'm representing my friend today. I'm helping him out because, like I told him, haters are going to hate. And he's got a particularly nasty hater that just keeps on hating on him. And a lot of you know who he is. If you go back into Ryan's history, he used to be on a show that started with a V and ended with or was two letters, whatever. But that particular person is not a nice person, and he continues to take cheap shots and hates on him and continues to attack him and harass him, and has gone on this campaign of harassment. And believe me, I've been on the other side of it with him and his sycophants. They're crazy. One of the things they do to this particular female that gave us this story, she claims to have gone to this other podcaster, and he completely ignored her. Okay, because if you go to this individual and you have anything that doesn't fit the wheelhouse of what he believes, which is very narrow-minded belief, he ignores you. Okay, if there's the slightest bit of spirituality involved in this, it seems to be like that's their thing. They just ignore it, and they will take out all the what they call paranormal. Okay, what I call paranormal is the whole thing. I call all of it paranormal. What these particular people, these so-called podcasters and researchers, claim is paranormal is anything related to spirituality. So if there are any spirituality, any parameters that are in place that have spirituality to do with the cases, I don't know if I said that right, but they have set. Let's put it this way: they have set up parameters where, if it has anything to do with spirituality, they reject it right out. It has to be a physical encounter, and they will even take stories, okay, and they will take out the parts or the aspects of the spiritual part of it. So when you get these stories, you're only being told the physical part of it, okay? And there are a lot of researchers that do that. I mean, they literally, and these podcasters, they will tell the witness, okay, let's leave that part out. Just talk about this, okay? Let's just focus on the dog man cornered you by your car. It was aggressive and growling. And then you almost pooped your pants and you drove out. Okay. We're not going to talk about the poltergeist activity that was happening in your house. We're not going to talk about the Ouija board that was being played with. We're not going to talk about the dogman entity coming through the wall. or going underneath, like what I heard recently, a garage. There was only this crack this wide open, and it came through as like a smoke, and then materialized. We're not going to talk about all that. All that is right out. You know why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. Okay, we are basically like politicians now, and it doesn't fit our narrative. So we're not gonna. You're not gonna be able to talk about it. We're just gonna completely. Do you know what that's doing? Okay, I'm being accused of muddying the waters by telling the entirety of their stories, folks. Let me repeat that. I am being accused of muddying the waters by telling the entire truth, by telling you, the listener, the entire story. I get the people on the show and I tell them, give me every last detail. I actually mean give me every last detail. Give me the beginning to the end. What happened to you? Were there ghosts involved? That you would call spirits or ghosts, whatever? Was it demonic in nature? I want to know these things. What did you see these things disappear? Were they impervious to weapons, the fire? I mean, what is the details here? Not let's take your encounter. Let's cherry pick the physical parts of it and then cast out everything else. Because I am sitting here with my associate. He can tell you this. We've probably got 30 different people who've told us that is what's happened. They're not allowed to tell the entirety of their encounters. Is that true? Yes or no? Yeah. And the complaints are pouring in. Ryan, at one time, was a very big believer in these things are physical. He's now starting to see, because he gets the reports like I do. And what you're realizing is that these so-called podcasters, these liars, okay, who are pointing the finger at me for telling the whole story, okay, they're lying. They're taking people's stories and they're dissecting them. And they're coaching the people. They've told me, I can bring you 3 or 4 people right now, and I can tell you, they're telling them, tell this part of the story, leave all this out. Okay, does that sound correct to you? Does that sound like something you want to listen to? Folks, you're getting a part of the story. You know what you're doing? You're getting a piece of the puzzle. You're not getting the whole puzzle. I deal with a lot of researchers, a lot of authors. I deal with guys have been in this field a long time, a lot longer than these goofy podcasters, that are talking about dog me, and they're so stupid. They don't know, they can't even wipe their butt. Okay, probably don't even wipe. Let me tell you something. Okay, these people don't know what they're talking about, and they're leading everyone astray. Okay, because they're not giving you the whole story. Okay, now here recently I've been accused of pushing the spirituality aspect of it. That's not true. I'm not pushing a physical or spiritual agenda. I'm pushing the truth agenda of what these people are telling us that these creatures are. They're telling us these things are, a lady told us that one of them's arm came through a windshield. And I'm going like, okay, so it busted through. No, it didn't bust through the windshield, Wolf. It went through the windshield, its arm, and grabbed me. Okay, that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for these things to go up under a crack this big. It's not uncommon for them to be in your house and with no forced entry, okay, but have forced exit. I mean, it's weird. That's something that me and Vic kind of talked about. I mean, Vic predominantly talks about the physical aspect because he caters to his audience. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot more going on to this phenomenon than what people are talking. I mean, they're not giving you the whole truth. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people who need to hear the truth. One of the things that I talked to Dark Waters about recently, not too long ago, he told this to another podcaster. He told her the same thing he told me, that there is a spirit attached to these things. I mean, it's like it comes on, and there's so much focus on these creatures right now that it's almost like, I don't know how you say it, like, there's something that comes along with all of this research, okay? And there's almost like there's this not worship, but these people who are so fascinated and enthralled by these entities that it's almost giving it power. And I'm telling you right now, okay, they're not just physical flesh and blood creatures, or we would have the proof, okay? They may be able to become flesh and blood and then revert back or whatever, but it's not that simple. And what you're getting with a lot of these stories and these shows, even with the Bigfoot people, a lot of it is it's doctored. What I mean is like it's cherry picked. They pick out encounters that fit their belief, that fit their narrow-minded agenda, and that's what they go with. Okay, and if you tell them anything beyond that, they want to leave all that out. There was nothing else that was weird that's ever happened to this person, and all they want to talk about is their spiritual, their non-spiritual aspect of these encounters. So. Andrea Krask, thank you for being a supporter of the show. What is that? It's from what we already paid before?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you might want to find out what that is. So, anyways, there is this whole like weird group of people. I mean, who I think that they're some sort of cult almost, who are determined to believe that these things are of physical nature, completely physical. And I'm going to tell you right now that that's not correct, folks. I'm telling you, that's not correct. Okay.
I mean, it's not so much that you're the one pushing the spiritual aspect into the subject. It's that they're the ones trying to push it out of it. Yeah. And then they project onto you, saying that you're the one who has an agenda to change things when you're trying to include every aspect of people's encounters, and they're the ones who want to cherry pick certain parts of it to fit whatever they convince themselves is the truth.
Yeah. And in particular, Ryan's former co-host, he has this guy that they practically worship. I call him the Dogman Whisperer. You'll figure out who he is. I'm not going to say his name on here because I'm not giving him that. But he has them all believing that he's got all this evidence and that he is the Dogman Messiah, and that he has created a whole cult of followers who believe that the Dogman, like, he has all the answers to it, and he's even got evidence. Which, there was an interview that was done involving Ryan, and then after the interview was done, he said that they couldn't use his interview. He likes to join groups and then kind of take over the group, and he'll argue and fight with anybody who deviates from what he believes is going on. He's looking at everything from a standpoint of he was a dog handler, okay? And I used to work for a security company who handled dogs, all right? So I know a lot about dogs. Dogman is not a dog. It's has nothing to do with dogs, okay? And this guy thinks that he knows everything about Dogman because he used to handle dogs, and that's not correct. And Chris basically worships this guy. I mean, literally, he's like their high priest, and this guy basically follows anything this dude says. And he went to war with me over this guy, and he'll do anything for that guy. Him and his little pack of minions from that little silly group that they have. And so, and one thing that really bothers me is that they're attacking a genuinely nice individual in Ryan, and I'm getting really tired of it. And so I'm just to the point where I'm just like, I mean, I wish we could just settle this once and for all, but that's obviously not going to happen.
Might need to change out this microphone keeps on crackling.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it not plugged in correctly?
No, it's plugged in just fine. It's just that it's probably just the mic. It's kind of finicky sometimes.
That sucks because this is the mic I like to use.
Let's just use the microphone that comes on the camera.
Will they be able to hear me?
I mean, they should be able to. We'll find out. I mean, it might not be the best audio, but it's not going to crackle. Hopefully it's not. Alright, so now we're using the camera microphone. Hopefully it'll work.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Dick Richards, I agree. I wish we could do things Gangs of New York style. It'd be nice. Can't believe this guy do work stuff constantly. Never ends. So the sound is good. Okay. So we got rid of the other mic. That's the mic that I actually like to use, but that's fine. Anyways, point being that the harassment continues from these lunatics, from the lunatic fringe, and they continue to insult and throw barbs and do what they do. I mean, they harassed us for months with sock accounts, with everything they could possibly throw at us. Blocked this account. They pull it was like whack-a-mole, and harassing me, my wife, everybody they could possibly mess with. Just never ended, you know, and just never ending hate from these people. And because I left their group. I left their group because they attacked every single buddy who spoke out of turn that was again, and whoever, what I mean by speaking out of turn is anything that's against their agenda. And if you said anything that deviated, you got attacked. In particular, if you're a woman, they really attacked you. And so you got attacked, and then you were ostracized, kicked out, what have you. And so I finally started to realize that a lot of people that were being attacked were my listeners, and I told this little punk that I wasn't going to help him grow his group. So he ran and told his Dogman Messiah, the Dogman Whisperer, that I had said something about him and why I didn't want to. That's why I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So this guy started attacking me, and then he got all of his little friends, some lunatic weirdos from Australia, to start attacking me, and just, you know, doing anything and everything they could to try to mess with me and my people. And eventually, we just had to block everyone we could. They tried infiltrating our groups. It was ridiculous. So these people are like lice. I mean, and they don't do anything but cause problems in this industry. And they are the ones that muddy the water because they don't allow the truth to be told. Like I said, they want cherry-picked stories that are laid out. You will tell you what part to talk about because we don't want you to talk about something that doesn't go along with what we believe. When in reality, you should be getting all the information and stories that you can, so that you can tell every aspect of this phenomenon. But that's not what's happening. You're getting these researchers who are on both sides too. You get people that are completely on one side or the other, and they focus in on those aspects so that it fits their narrative. That's not correct. That is not correct, okay? Most of the encounters, if you dig deep into them, they have a both physical and spiritual aspect to them, and that's the truth. You get a lot of these encounters on these shows who they're basically just, you know, they're only giving you that encounter. They don't tell you, well, other things have happened to me in my life. There were things that led up to this. There were other things that happened. My house had stuff going on. The property had a haunting going on. You know, if there was a UFO around the area or involved, you don't hear about that. That's left out completely. Something that me and Nick Valente were frustrated in talking about. You know, you get a lot of that. You're basically only given the physical aspect of the encounter, and everything else is just thrown to the wind. And then those people, they're like, oh, we're helping people. You're not helping people. How are you helping people by only letting them tell part of what really is going on with them? How is that helping people? Okay, tell me that. I don't agree with that. You're not helping people when you do that. And there's a bunch of podcasters doing that too. They're claiming that they're helping people work through their problems or whatever. First of all, we're not counselors, okay? We're not qualified to be counselors. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose you. I can't do anything. What can any of us in this field really do, okay, other than let it be cathartic that you talk about it? That's all we can do. So patting yourself on the back and saying that you're out there helping people every day, you know, what are you doing? Okay? I mean, helping people is like giving to charity and going and serving people in soup kitchens. That's helping people, okay? Making money off of a Dogman show, that's not helping people, okay? I don't, you know, whatever, dude. I don't get that. Not agreeing with it. Sorry, I'm not buying it either. There's people that are doing this now strictly for money, and they're popping up every day. And there's one in particular who's like going on this one show all the time. And I know a bunch of people who are telling me, oh, that guy's tearing up our stories. Why are you giving him your stories? Because he's another one that's just going to take what he wants, the parts that he wants, and he's going to tell the physical part of it. And, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous, dude, what's going on. And I'm so frustrated with that. And the whole Dogman thing is only one aspect and only one part of what I talk about on my show. We talk about a lot of other subjects. It's just that we've been hammered with people wanting Dogman. So we've given you weeks of it. But we're going to start moving another direction, doing some other stuff. Then we'll come back to it. You know, it'll be, you know, periodic. We'll come back to it. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there, and we need to talk about it. And it's all related, folks. It's all related. People can say what they want, and they can say that it's not. But it is. It really is. And, you know, just as I believe that a lot of religion, there's a lot of different aspects to religion. You have a ton of different religions out there. But I think that the major religions all have a piece of the puzzle, like Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity in particular. I'm a Christian, you know, Islam. I think if they all got together, you could probably solve a lot of problems, but that won't happen. The system is set up that way, and that's unfortunate, because I think that us working together is what it would take to make things right in this world. And the problem is that all these people are basically doing what they're doing. They're doing it as a self-serving thing. I've seen that. I mean, it's like everybody's doing that. It's like, what's going to help me? What's going to build my stuff? What can I do to grow myself? And they're not doing anything beyond just being self-serving. And then they're patting themselves on the back and telling themselves that they're good people because they're helping people or whatever. You know, you're talking to people, and I'm getting all these reports about these different researchers. You know, we're not guidance counselors, dude. I mean, it's the bottom line. You can give somebody your story, but if you're only allowed to give certain aspects of that story, then what is it really worth? Is that the whole story? No, it's not. On my show, what we do is we try to give the entirety of the story. We try to let you come on, whoever you are, and you tell what your experience is. You give us the whole story. And we either tell the story for you, or you come on the show and tell it yourself. And if you can come on the show and tell it yourself, that's preferred. This camera doesn't seem like it's...
No,
I know. I'm saying that it's like my face looks like it's filtered or something.
It's just a line here. I can change it.
I don't want you people to think that I'm using a filter to try to look young and fresh.
Let's see what kind of greens we can get.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is that better?
It's Amsterdam.
I can't tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't even see them. Oh, dang it. Yeah, that's not good. You're gonna look at it live over here. Jeez. Okay.
Wow.
Jeez. It's not getting any better.
Oof.
It's a little better.
Eesh. I don't try the regular light. See what happens.
Regular light's too bright.
Just try it. I mean, it won't hurt to try.
The fluorescent light?
I mean, shit.
That's just.
Wow. Wow, that looks so weird. I actually kind of look like this dude. People tell me all the time I look like Bowser. My wife bought me this shirt. I think it's pretty cool. Nelly, are you there? Are you listening? Anyways, I'm sorry for going on that rant about that. We also have a website, prtpodcast.com. My email address is joshturner@prtpodcast.com. We're on a lot of different platforms, which we don't make any money for except for YouTube, which is kind of annoying because a lot of people listen to us on these other platforms. So I wish there was a way to get them to come to YouTube, but there's not. So just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to touch on those subjects. And no, I'm not bashing Vic. I'm not talking about Vic. Vic actually does try to help people, and to his own. He does actually. I know that he talks to people and gives them advice and tries to talk to them, But I also, by the same token, I'm going to say this, and I don't really see how you can help somebody other than just being supportive and letting them talk about their story, because, but there's a lot of people out there that are copying that. And, and they're trying to be like, oh, we helping people. Yeah, really? You're helping people? Yeah, right. By butchering their stories or telling them what to say or only letting them talk about certain things. Yeah, that's not helping people. They're just trying to copy. Hi, Nelly. Josh watched Paranormal Prisons last night. Did you ever tell the story of the cat burglar who witnessed paranormal after breaking in the house? Yes, I did. Actually, I told one of those stories because the guy that happened to had two different things happen to him. Breaking into houses, and he's a friend of a buddy of mine who's I had asked for prayers because his sister had passed away recently, but he was a buddy of that guy, and he was a burglar, and he would break into houses. He was a little turd, and he had a couple paranormal things happen to him in these houses that he broke into, because you're invading people's domain. And when you're breaking into people's houses, in particular like drug dealers and stuff like that, there's some bad things that could happen to you, because some of these people practice, they worship Santa Muerta, and whenever you're going into their houses and messing with stuff, there's no telling what kind of energy you're going to bring back. And they had, in one of these particular places, a sentinel, I think is what you would call it, in place. And it literally attacked this individual. So. This is an interesting statement. David Marks, I can't read it. It went so fast. It puzzles me that brilliant or genius people don't take interest in studying or making any breakthrough discovery in the paranormal field. Might create massive advancements for humanity. I agree. Hey, that thing's about to fall off the wall right there.
What if?
Yeah. Right there, you're right.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. It looks like that. If you want to get back to the big screen, you just hover down over here, and it should pop up. You just click it.
I was just trying to read it from because this goes fast. So.
Yeah. It's just like whenever you click over here, it makes this go away, and so it's kind of annoying.
Yep. What's funny to me is like I told Ryan last night, we were talking, and I'm gonna just tell you point blank, Ryan. I told him, I said, Ryan, you're a good dude, and you have a good reputation for being a good guy, and like I can say whatever, because I don't have a bad reputation in this field. I have a reputation for being solid. I have an integrity. I've been told that. But I also have a reputation for coming right at you and punching you in the mouth with the truth or whatever I feel is correct. And I can be abrasive, and I have sort of an image that and I didn't cultivate it. It just kind of happened, of being kind of brash. And I have an image. It's kind of like, I wouldn't call it like the bad guy, because I'm not the bad guy, but I would call it more of like an anti-hero. I guess that's the best I could hope for. I mean, I'm not really the good guy. I'm not Vic, like, oh, he's a good guy, whatever. Yeah, I'm a good guy, but I'm not one of those people that looks at me and goes, oh, this guy's wearing a cape. I'm more like a Cable Punisher type guy. And it's not what I was necessarily going for. I wasn't trying to create an image for myself that way. I have a life that I lived long before I ever got into this business. And I was known as a stand-up guy and with integrity, but somebody that would definitely break your neck. I mean, just same scenario here in the paranormal field. I mean, like, I like people. I'm a people person. I try to do my best to be as positive and do what's right. But when I see wrong, I'm going to call you out on it. And I'm not going to back down. And I'm not going to take your threats. You're not going to scare me. You're not going to run me out of this field. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me how the cow eats the cabbage. You're not going to lay down the law to me. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have, what you own, or what you got. Because what you got is not what I got. Because I got a lot of people who are loyal. Now, how do you gain loyalty? It's by showing them loyalty yourself. Respect. You give respect, you get respect. And whenever I know that people are out there just making up stuff, okay, and talking bad about people who are my friends, who I know are good people, who struggle every day to do the right thing. I'm going to say something, especially somebody like Ryan, who 100% defended this individual from me. Okay, he literally stood in between me and that individual and said, I don't want you to attack this person. I'm gonna try to mediate and broker a peace. And he did. He tried, and I tried, and that person continually broke it. Because he was petty, he was jealous, and I think a little bit insane. There's just no other way around it. So you have people who do the things that they do, they say the things that they say, and they cry out as they strike you. So that's my thing. What you see is what you get with me. I don't hide anything. I wear everything out here on my sleeves. It's like, this is me. This is me. I tell you the truth about as much as I can as far as my past and there's a lot of stuff I don't want to talk about. But I try to be as open and genuine and honest with you. I've made mistakes, and I apologize for those mistakes. When I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I've stepped up to the plate and said, hey, things are the way they are, But when I got into this business, it was the same way in the security field. The security field is full of backbiting, wannabe cops and slackers. Okay, and I was told this is quote unquote the way to do things, and I broke that and said I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way, and it's worked out. Same thing with this whole paranormal, cryptids, all that, whatever. People told me, well, this is the way you do things, and you should do it this way, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it my way. Okay, and I'm going to do it the way that I think is correct. I'm going to use integrity, honesty, and I'm going to do what I think is right, and I'm going to tell the whole story, whether you can digest it or not. And it's not about getting views. It's not about making money. It's not about anything but the truth. When we started this, Anthony, you can tell the folks here, we were not trying to make money. This never started out as a money-making venture.
No, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
It's something you enjoy doing because it's something you do for the sake of doing it because you enjoy every aspect of it.
But you got people who jump in, who start a channel, and 2 months later, they're trying to figure out how to do merchandising. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. That's not how it works. You don't have 200 people per video watching you, and then you want to sell merchandise. Okay, that right there tells me that you're doing this strictly for the money, and you're full of crap. Now, and I'm telling you, you're full of crap. So I'll tell those people to their face. I'll tell them on the phone. I'll tell them through Skype. I'll tell them through a tin can with a string, you know, because I really don't care. I'm going to tell you right now, you're full of crap. Okay, you don't just start a channel and then start thinking about how you're going to sell merchandise. That's not how it works. In fact, the merchandising thing wasn't even my idea. The merchandising thing was people's idea, telling me you should sell merchandise, you should sell merchandise, you should sell merchandise. Did I set it up, Anthony?
No.
You did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you set it up, did you even tell me?
Mm-mm.
Did I even know?
No.
No. I wake up and he says, hey, we're selling merchandise. And I'm like, great. Fantastic.
I mean, people kept asking for it, so.
The Patreon, same thing. I didn't set it up. I didn't, you know, this has never been about money. The only thing I need to do is make enough to keep the show going so that I can continue to bring you the truth as I know it. That's all I can do. I cannot, you know, and I can't force these other charlatans and liars and these fakers with their magical people that they pretend that they're, you know, alphabet agents, and they come on there and they tell you all these ridiculous stories about mastiff dogmen and whatever the heck else. They're bullcrap stories. You know who you are. You're all full of crap. Yeah, I can't control what they do, you know, and you're not. I mean, you're not pushing my buttons. All I'm doing is just being aggravated that they're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes and trying to fool them and trying to make people believe their nonsense, and then trying to tell people, oh, these are all. There's only this one type of thing happening, and if your story if it deviates from that, then it doesn't get broadcast or it doesn't get put on there. You come to me, and I will tell your story, and then the folks can decide what they believe or don't believe. Okay, we're not going to edit and cut out and take certain parts of it and cherry pick, and then you get people saying, hey, you know, that's not really what I said. In fact, Dick Richards, you can go ahead. You're in the chat room right now. You can just lay it out there for me. Someone took your story and just completely turned it into a Star Trek episode. Okay, you're one of many people, you know, and you got little jerks that run groups that have aligned themselves with these fakesters and hucksters, and you know they like threaten people and talk crap to people. Vincent Richards is a good guy. I like him. He's a nice guy. He can attest to that. He was threatened. There's a lot of people. I could, if these people were willing to, I could give you a list of names that was from the ceiling to the floor here of people who've been dogged out by these people. They have used them, they've abused them, and they have treated these people like dirt, just to get their stories, and then they twist their stories and they lied. They told them to lie, you know, or they flat out were just rude to them or even threatening to them. I mean, like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are, honestly? Okay, because if we were face to face, and you know, you would not be the way you were. It would be a life-changing experience for you to be face to face with me, because you know you wouldn't enjoy it. Believe me. Let's sit you in a chair, and I would make you change your whole perspective on life. Because I'm tired of your bullcrap, I'm tired of your lies, I'm tired of your arrogance and your ridiculousness. I'm not the only one out there who's making good material, though. There are good people out there who are doing good stuff. I'm just tired of the lunatics. And there's a group of them. This is stupid. And I care about my people. I don't have a name for my people, for the PRT people. You know, I don't know. What should we call our people? What do we call them?
What, like a nickname for the listeners?
I thought about parasites, but then I thought that's got a negative connotation to it. Probably don't want to do that because it's paranormal, you know, parasites.
How about pariahs?
Pariahs. I thought about that, pariahs, but then I thought that's kind of got a negative connotation too, depending on who you talk to.
I don't know.
Well, we could call them fagiaholics.
I don't know. maybe the people can leave comments saying like what they want to be called as a whole as PRT listeners.
Yeah. Well, somebody said wolf pack, but you know, you already have the Doug pack. I don't want to, you know. The Round Tablers. That's a good one. PRT Mafia. It's fitting. See here, it says Curtis Turner, he hit me up to use my story and then absolutely pooped the bed and changed pretty much everything. So the next week, I went on and told the actual stories to people who would listen to. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there.
So just on a side note real quick, speaking of Curtis Turner, he left a message saying I wish you would have used some of my work in your merchandise. Him and Jason McFadden in particular, like them two, as well as probably some others, I want to get some of their work together and put it on t-shirts or pillows or whatever, different kind of merchandise, because a lot of it's really cool.
I did look up the Bull, Simon the Bull. I don't have a good picture of him, but I thought it was a good idea to use Simon, like Simon the Bull, but that would be something that only people who know about the ranch would understand that. And but Simon the Bull was a very, very big, large animal, and I thought about just making up a composite of what I thought he would look like, since I'm having a hard time getting, just from what I've been told, having a hard time getting pictures of this bull. I'm gonna need to take a quick break. You want to take over?
Yeah, I can hold the fork down for a little bit.
Let me turn this.
Uncle Wolf turned the camera so you wouldn't have to be subjected to my ugly face. You know what? My face is not ugly. I have a beautiful face. Look at me and all my magnificence. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Y'all are just stuck with me until he's done with his business, so. See, don't turn your back on the wolf pack, you might wind up in a body bag. I don't know about all that, but let's see what comments we got here. Curtis Turner, oh my God, the face. That is that's not a bad that's like it's amazing. I'm impressed. Wolfpack for life. Brad Moyer says Paranormies. That's clever, but someone already has a show called Paranormies. It's already taken. I think it's kind of a smaller show, but it is a show, so. Tell us a scary story. I don't really have a scary story. Well, I mean I could, but I'm not a storyteller. My Uncle Wolf's a storyteller. I stay behind the camera, like I'm back there where I belong, and he's up here. He's the face and all that stuff. Why do you keep hiding from us? Cause I like my privacy. You ever seen Shrek? At the beginning of the movie, he's like, I like my privacy. That's why he stays in a cabin in the swamp. That's me. Except I'm not hideous and disgusting, but just as solitary. Scary story. I looked in the mirror. Okay. I have the shortest scary story in the world for you. Okay. Be the last person on the planet. The last person alive. Then you hear a knock on the door. The end. There you go. Let's see what else we got here. Stimulate says Dick Richards likes your privacy too. I don't know what that means, but coming from that guy, I'm sure it's some kind of you're getting at something. You always leave some kind of something to mess with me. I know you. Says Lampalite, you're the technical brains behind the operation. Yeah, pretty much. That's all I'm really good for. Do you have any tattoos, Anthony? Yeah, I have a corny tattoo of a werewolf, like right here on my shoulder, left shoulder blade. No, right. No, left. Yeah, I forget where it is, cause I got it like this was 2010, so 11 years ago. I was 19 years old. No, yeah, I was 19, and I don't regret it, but it's just something that I saw like in an artwork book, and I thought, hey, that's cool. Let me get a tattoo of that. And it wasn't for like any kind of paranormal interest. It's just there was this pen and paper RPG called Werewolf Apocalypse, and my uncle has a bunch of books from them, and he had one that was an artwork book, and there's a picture of this werewolf like kind of looking up, howling, playing a harp, and I thought it was really cool. So I just went to the tattoo shop and told him, hey, put that right here, and he did. But I mean, like I said, I don't regret it. But tattoos just aren't my thing. I just wanted to do it just to do it, you know. But I don't think I'll be getting any more. Not that I have anything against them. It's just not for me. People are different. Okay, let me get caught up on the comments. I'm talking and talking. No, don't worry. Uncle Wolf he's almost done doing what he's doing. He'll be back with y'all. And the Wolfpack would fit, honestly. The Wolfpack's a good name, but it's not really like kind of looking for something that incorporates the name of the show, like something with the words paranormal and round and table, like something that will tell you, like, oh yeah, when you hear this name, you know that it refers to Paranormal Round Table. Let's see what else we got here. Spend any time at the Big Thicket? No, Doug Jones, I've never been there. I've heard about it, and it seems like an interesting place to go, but I've never been. Do you smoke? This guy always asks me if I smoke pot, dude. No, I do not smoke pot. I do like your username though. That's really funny. Roll the losing dice. It's a story of our lives sometimes. And I've said that before, but no, I do not smoke pot. I don't like pot. It's just, I don't like the way it makes me feel. Anyway. The Turner Packers. Who said that? Hector Larios? That's too close to the Green Bay Packers. An obnoxious and dislikable football team that no one should ever be a fan of. Aaron Rodgers is annoying. Paranormal Table Roadies. Night Pack. Bobby Blitz. Why are you going to send water to the basement? It's been days. I behaved. Ryan, let's give you one more day to behave, and then maybe I'll give you some water. Paranormal Round Tablers, Paranormal Round Table Greenhorns, the Council Crypto Crew. Got some really creative people here. We're lucky to have y'all as listeners. Bobby Blitz. Oh God. Not reading your comment. Paranormal Pack. Mushu is being held captive in the basement. Yeah, I mean, but that's not news. That He's not even being held captive. Well, he was being held captive down there at first, but he just decided that he liked it, and now he never comes out. He's just like, he gets mad if we try to drag him out of it. So, I don't know. I guess he's got the, what is that called? Stockholm Syndrome. Have you ever been bullied by Josh Turner? Says roll the losing die. Yeah, all the time. He takes my food. That's why he's like, that's why his shoulders are like this wide and my shoulders are like this wide. I could be as big as him, if not bigger, but he doesn't let me eat. He deprives me of food and water. I'm telling you, I'm suffering. I'm starving slowly. No, I'm kidding. And I have to say, I've learned from him that when you say stuff like that, when you say silly things, you have to say I'm just kidding, because people are that stupid that they'll take what you say and actually believe it. But it's the internet, so you should expect that. What else we got here? Man, this is not this hosting this thing is harder than it looks. I'm all over Wolf all the time, like saying, do this different or do that different. You should do this and you shouldn't do that, you know, when you're on camera. Now I'm in a hot seat, and it's yeah, it's easier said than done. Anthony, are you guys armed at work? Says Dick Richards. No, we're not. Doing armed security guard work is too it's too much of a risk. It's too much liability. Doing great. By the way, Thule, I got your text. I got your phone call. Just I'm not ignoring you. It's just I forgot to. I made a mental note, like, oh, I have a message from Thule. I'll call him back later, and then something sidetracks me, and then I forget, and then I'll remember again, and then something else will come up, and it's just like one thing after another. I do that with like a lot of people. I need to. It's too much too fast. But yes, I'm not being a turd and ignoring your phone calls. It's just I forget everything. Oh, okay, here we go. Saved by the Bell. I don't have to do this no more.
What are we all discussing?
Nothing in particular. We're just kind of going all over the place.
Where's Josh? Right here. I'm right here. It says, Josh, I want to hear about your skinwalker encounter at Cabela's in Buda. I don't know if I should talk about it now or if I should talk about it on the show. Yeah, we got to come up with a name for our listeners. PRT Pack. Brian Clough, thank you for your $5 donation.
White Gate has paraplegics.
Angel Martin, thank you for your donation. Ryan, if you could do me a favor and kick out someone for me, please. We know who that person is. I'll send you the information. Or are you moderating?
Yeah, just text me.
Someone that you had said before, Ryan. It says Jesus, or what is it? Jesus is King. Jesus is King. Thank you for your $20 donation. Thank you for taking time to educate us. God bless you and your beautiful family. Thank you so much. The anti-satanic Nephilim extermination or assault squad. Sounds kind of like what's that show called with the meat wad and we have somebody in this chat room who's not. They are. They're from the enemy camp, and we know they are. So we're not playing games with you. You're not gonna sit here and say things and start crap. And, go to your side of the fence and play, sir.
Oh, Angel Martin had a question with her super chat donation.
What is the question?
She said, have you guys heard of the lady in white associated with Bigfoots and the folklore of the hairy wild man spirit in the woods and poltergeist activities / orbs?
That's a lot now. What break it down in pieces here. Have you guys heard of the lady in white associated with Bigfoot? We'll answer that one first. Actually, no, I have not. And the folklore of the hairy wild man spirit in the woods, yes. And poltergeist activity with orbs, yes. Are you talking about all this relating to Bigfoot? That's something that a lot of stuff happens with Bigfoot encounters. In fact, there's a lot of researchers that I've talked to who can attest to the fact that Bigfoot and Dogman have a lot that comes along with it, not just the physical aspects of their encounters. Which is why it makes me so mad that these people will only put encounters up that are physical related, because it's something that they can that'll further their silly and narrow-minded belief, and so they will lead witnesses. They'll push witnesses to only talk about the spiritual aspects of their encounters. I mean the non-spiritual aspects of their encounters. Nothing with orbs or UFOs or anything that can make it be a non-physical encounter. Now there is a lady in white that shows up there. There's Lady of the Lake in Dallas, but that's not Diane Rain. Thank you for your says just felt inspired by others to give. Thank you so much. Appreciate helping the show keep going. That is not something that I know of as being associated with Bigfoot. Somebody just said Love Hellier. The guy from that show is a friend of mine on Facebook. I sent him a message not too long ago about coming on and talking, but I didn't get anything back. Well, then again, I can't say 100% because I got so many messages, but I don't remember getting anything back from him. So if y'all want to pester him and tell him to get his butt on the show. Wolves of the Round Table. That sounds good. I like that. Wolves of the Round Table.
Good evening, Wolves of the Round Table. We're going to talk about Dogman. I'm going to bring my friend, the Dogman Whisperer, on. We're going to talk about Dogman. talk about Dogman. Dogman. I do. Actually, this guy just, Corey Cole, yeah, it says, do you have any stories about Salvage Yard? I actually had one, I believe I told it on Vic Cundiff's show, where a guy was doing a repo and he went into a tow yard. Or maybe it was a different story that I'm thinking of. One was a tow truck driver, I know, and it happened out near on the other side of what is that down in South Austin before you get to Buda, but it's kind of off. It's like a Creedmoor. Is it Creedmoor, that area?
I think so.
And near Creedmoor, there was a guy that used to big old guy, used to work for a buddy of ours, used to repo cars, and there was this dogman encounter that happened. Well, I mean, it was all signs pointed to it being a dogman, but it wasn't ruled that. And the person, they never found the person. The vehicle was just abandoned, but there was weird. It was a weird case. Then there was another one where a guy was picking up a vehicle, and he saw this creature come out, and I can't remember. God, the story it's so long ago. I'd have to go out and like re-listen to or look at my notes and reread those stories, or listen to Dogman encounters to try to get, because there's so many stories they run together. But yeah, there was a guy, I think he was repoing a car, and this thing came out at him and tried to attack him. And I remember that story. Alligators in the sewers are true. I mean, anything's possible. But Corey Cole, if you're talking about just paranormal activity and like ghost related stuff, I can give you a story. I mean, really quickly here. There was a this was in South Austin. This was at a tow yard. My brother worked there for a little while, and I'm trying to remember exactly where it was at. I think it was off of Ben White. In fact, I can call and ask him right now. And I can give you guys a ghost story. See if he's up. The stripes thing is weird because a lot of people believe that he became a spirit, that he actually died and became a spirit. But I believe that these things can move in and out of the spirit realm anyway. But I think his life force here ended as far as physical. I don't know. That's just what I've been told. I'm doing something, folks. I'll be right back. Yes, Ryan. I think it is. Yes. See, folks, we're being attacked right now. Sitting here being messed with. Just what happens. People hate us because they hate us. That's why. All the excess flood waters probably went to Antarctica and froze. What does it say? What do I think about the Bigfoot and Dogman came from Atlantis? There's a lot of speculation on that they were some sort of Atlanteans, the Lemurians, who knows? I think that you have to look at what could possibly be the genetic altering if you're looking at that. And that goes back to the Nephilim. And as we know, the Nephilim were destroyed, but they are now known as evil spirits. So it still goes back to what I say. The Nephilim became what we know of as demons or evil spirits, and they were going to be called that for all time. Read the Book of Enoch. I believe that's what happened, and it all ties in too. Like if you look at the Watchers and who they were and what they did, and they displeased God with their creating these monstrosities. One of the things that they did, I believe, was genetic altering and tampering. And that really made God angry. And I believe that these dogmen, whatever you want to call them, werewolves, Bigfoot, whatever, they could all be part of that. I mean, maybe. This thing just went, the screen just went small again. It's not working here. No, I got it. There you go. Talking to myself. So, one of the things that I think that these things could be, anyways, one of the things that I think these things could be is Nephilim, I believe, because I believe that they and I believe that they have the ability. They have abilities that we don't. I mean, they can censor themselves, to make themselves not be seen. Cloaking, like the whole glimmer man, shimmering man thing that we talked about. That could be part of what they do. There's a lot going on here, and we can't, and if we allow these other individuals to censor us, and tell us, hey, we can't talk about the spiritual aspect of these creatures and the different abilities that they have that we don't, and you just want to look at them as some sort of animal that's undiscovered, yet there's no physical evidence of them anywhere. I think it would be hard. You're hamstringing yourself. You're putting yourself in a box, and you're saying, okay, we can't look at all of the evidence. We can't go in and really piece together what's going on with this puzzle, because we are not allowing ourselves to look at certain pieces of the puzzle. And that's what's going on with a lot of these morons that are on there saying, yeah, I think they're all just physical. Yeah. Funny thing, too, if you talk to the average Bigfoot researcher, they laugh at the dogman phenomenon, and they think it's silly that we think that the dogman is physical. And I tend to agree that it isn't completely a physical creature, but I also laugh at them because I don't think that Bigfoot's completely physical. I think that a lot of the stories of Sasquatch, it's the same thing is now happening to dogmen. They've been whitewashed and censored, and they've been turned into strictly physical encounters, and that's what's being looked at, and everything else is being ignored. And I think that's unfortunate. I think until people start to realize what we're up against, what we're facing, what we're seeing, what is actually out there, and we're taking people's stories and not just chopping them up and taking out the parts that we don't like and throwing them out and keeping the parts that we do like. That's a form of censorship that I think is completely just it's ridiculous. And we are already censored to the point of just exhaustion in this society. It's so bad. You can't say anything because someone out there will rear their ugly head and be offended. It's so ridiculous. You got them telling, oh, this children's book is offensive, and you can't, I can't even think of all the other things that's going on that they're finding offense with. It's just, there's so much of it, like the Muppets and whatever else. So if everything is, and then on top of that, you got idiots that are basically trying to censor our belief and trying to get to the bottom of what's really going on. If you talk to people who have had multiple dogman encounters or dogman encounters that have, you talk to them and they have had a lot of times other things that have gone on, but they're not allowed to talk about these things on these shows. And although I do like Vic, I'm not calling him out or anything, but a lot of his show is very physical based, and there is no effort to try to put out the woo, because it was something that was decided a long time ago that just wasn't going to be on there. So there's very little of it. There's some, but not much. And I think that the so-called woo is a very big part of it. It's a very big aspect of it. And when we throw it out and just say, "Oh, we're not going to talk about that," well, you're dumping out a whole bunch of information that people need to hear. There's a lot of things that go along with this. If I write a book about it, I could tell encounter after encounter after encounter that are just from the dogman part of it. But if I were to be honest and put all of the different encounters, together and talk about all the other things that were going on around these encounters, like the poltergeist activity or the UFO activity, you would get a bigger picture, clearer picture of what's really going on. And one of the reasons why I started to write a book about the dogman phenomenon, I thought I was just going to talk about dogman, and then I kind of realized that you can't do that. I mean, if you can, but you're just cutting out a niche, and you're saying, okay, this is all we're going to talk about. And there's somebody who's already done that, and that's Linda Godfrey, and there's a lot of other people who've done that. Says the battery's running low.
I'll plug it in.
So there's a lot of people who've done that and who are doing that, and but like I said, you would just be doing the same thing that they're doing, just giving encounter after encounter after encounter, but you're not really delving into the whole phenomenon. And to me, that's doing a disservice to everyone, because there is a lot of other information that belongs with the dogman phenomenon, along with the Bigfoot and Goatman and all these other cryptids and creatures that we talk about, Mothman. When you try to look at these things and say, "Oh, this is purely just a physical flesh and blood things," I don't believe that. I just can't believe that, because there are too many things there are too many aspects of these creatures that point to them being not really a physical creature, or a physical creature, but also not a physical, like something that moves in and out of like the two realms. Like it's physical, but it's also not physical. Does that make sense? Are you following me what I'm saying? Because I don't want to sound like I'm rambling. Maybe I am, but I'm trying to get out what I'm trying to emphasize that we're dealing with something that's not completely of this world, of this flesh and blood world that we live in, and it's such a weird thing. I mean, to box yourself in and say, okay, this is all that there is, that's just completely not correct. So, especially whenever you get so many stories, and those stories they're always telling you, well, this also happened, and then this also happened, and then you're like, well, yeah, but I just want to hear about the dogman. Like, can you just tell me about the dogman? Because I don't want to hear about the shadow person in your closet. I don't want to hear about the other stuff that was going on during all this. I don't want to hear about any sort of communication that this thing may have, because this thing is just basically an undiscovered animal, and we need to focus on that. And I got witnesses telling me that that's what these people are doing. Okay. And then they go around saying, yeah, we're helping people. You are? Okay. That's what you want to believe. I was going to tell you a story. Can we call him on here?
I think so.
It's gonna be hard to hear him on that phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to set it up to have his audio play through some headphones or something.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't have Weatherly calling today. I guess I could try to talk to him on the phone, but his voice is kind of hard to hear. Let me see if I can do this. Can y'all hear that, folks?
Well,
Hey, I don't know if the folks can hear you, but I wanted to ask you a question. You used to work at a tow yard. Yeah. And for a friend of ours, whereabout was that tow yard at? It was on Ben White, right?
yeah, it was like Ben White near Congress.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to tell a story. Do you remember the ghost stories that were about that place?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So while you were working there, I believe, I'm not 100%, but there was a guy that, or maybe you weren't working there anymore, but there was a guy, one individual shot and killed another individual there. Is that true? Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think that actually like happened right after I stopped working there or whatever.
Okay, so you weren't working there anymore. Can you hear his voice? Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So, folks, this is my brother, Diablo, they call him, or D. And D, you're on PRT. I don't know if I told you that, but anyway, you're on the live stream. So, what I was wanting to ask was, because shortly after you, I guess when you weren't working there, a person was killed in an altercation with two drivers got in an altercation, and one of them shot and killed the other one with a shotgun. Okay.
Yeah.
But then after this incident happened, because the person that owned the place was a friend of ours, or is a friend of ours, reports began to come in of a person who had been that looked like they were bloodied and messed up, and they were spotted in different places around the tow yard, the junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted you to confirm that you remember that story. And I'm going to get back to that in a second. I'll tell you a couple of those little stories, and I'm not saying that it was the same person that was his ghost, because we don't know that. But it is odd that there were stories of a person who had been that looked deformed or mutilated after the shotgun killed this individual. But do you remember working downtown on 6th Street and the reports we got of the little people?
Oh yeah. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff in them buildings because they were like 1800s or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was definitely one of the things.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us? Can you hear him? I'm gonna see if they answer me.
Yeah, I can hear. Pretty sure.
Testing.
Yep. Nobody's answering me. Or is things not moving? It says yes. Okay, so what? Just real quick for the folks at home, give them a little something. What were the things that were being found in the buildings in a couple of the buildings that we worked at downtown when we were doing bouncing on 6th Street?
Well, they would find a lot of dead rats that had looked like they'd been skewered. Like they had this kind of little metal rod or sharp object skewering them.
Mm-hmm. And that happened in different bars and clubs that we worked at. So that was one of the things that I wanted to touch on tonight, was just we're going to talk about that eventually. We're going to do a show about the little people. And it's weird because I just wanted you to verify that, to give, because that is something that we heard stories about, was of these little people being seen carrying ice cubes, supposedly knocking over liquor bottles and fighting with rats. It's as weird as it sounds. There was one place we worked at in particular, or D worked. I didn't actually work there, but it was a friend of mine that owned that bar. And you guys found a rat that looked like it had 3 puncture holes in it. Yeah, on one of the couches upstairs, like it had looked like it had been, in a fight or something. Yeah.
There was a lot of weird stuff in those bars. I mean,
Yeah.
that and then all the ghost activity and everything.
Yeah. We need to do a show. We're gonna do a show. I have one planned. I'm building it right now for just all about 6th Street and the different crazy stuff that goes on down there, and the paranormal stuff that happens. The little people, the ghosts, all the weird stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, the buildings are super old, and I mean, one of the most famous haunted spots in Austin is on 6th Street, which is the Driscoll. So, it's right down there in that whole area.
Yeah, and the Driscoll Hotel is notoriously haunted. In fact, there was an actor, I believe it was one of the Baldwin brothers, who was on Celebrity Ghost Stories talking about their encounter at the Driscoll.
Yep.
Yeah, and I took a picture with my wife when she first came. We did a ghost tour, and the Driscoll was one of the places we went, and I took a picture, and I thought nothing of it. And then when I went back and I looked, there was like all these little faces, little round faces at the base of the staircase, of the main staircase. I don't know where that picture's at, though. I've looked for it, and I think it was on my old phone, but I know it's not on this phone, but Nellie might still have that picture. So, honey, if you're listening and you have that picture, let me know. We can post it on the Paranormal Roundtable group. Anyways, I just want to give you all a little something there. Thanks for talking to me, brother, and I'll let you get back to your regularly scheduled lotioning or whatever you're doing.
Not at work yet.
Okay. All right. I know you like to moisturize, take care of yourself. You're very,
Yeah, you gotta do what you can when you get the psoriasis.
Yep. All right, man. I'll see you, D.
All right, man. Later.
All right, bye. So there was an individual that was killed, but I don't know. There's speculation that there might have been like some sort of a haunting or something that was going on prior to this man being shot. But one of the stories I remember was of a driver who was working on the late shift, and it was like 3:30 in the morning, and he was going to his vehicle, and someone slapped the side of his vehicle, and he looks over, and there's like a guy bleeding to death with a bloody hand, and he was slapping the glass of his truck, and when he looked over, it was on the passenger side, and it fit the description of the guy who was killed. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty telling. And the guy that happened to, we didn't get to talk to him, but we talked to one of his best friends that worked there with him, because the guy quit after that and then moved to like Burnet, Texas. So it's pretty crazy. Some of the stuff that was going on there. One of the girls that worked there was a dispatcher. She told us that one day a gust of wind blew the door open to the trailer, and her coffee mug flew against the wall and broke. There was a bucket that was almost like it was kicked into the side of the building. It was filled with water. Just weird stuff like that was going on there at that rec yard. So yeah, stuff in tow yards, rec yards. Yeah, we got stuff like that. How we doing on time?
I've been on for I think a little less than 2 hours.
Okay. Because we do have to record with Ryan tonight, folks. Says you Texans got some crazy energy following you around. I don't think any more than anybody else. I think if you're in tune with it, you're awake to it. I just have a ton of stories because I when I hear one, I track it down or I listen. Why would you want me to fight Alex Jones? I could crush his head like a grape. I've met Alex Jones. I know him. He used to have he used to do a public access show back before he became a mouthpiece for whatever. Yeah, my friend Roger had a show that would come on right before his on public access, and Alex is. I mean, I agree with some of his stuff, but also think he's a little unhinged. It says you met Alex Jones. Yeah, he lives in Austin. It's not that big a deal. I ran into him one day over at Susie's Kitchen. Not there anymore. Used to be a Chinese place, and so. I mean, I wouldn't want to hurt Alex. I don't have anything against him, but if we got into a fight, it would be over very quickly. It would be decisive, and it would be horrific for him. So,
I mean, just in general, anyone who's not who doesn't train to fight that gets into someone who is trained to fight, it's not going to end well for them.
mm-hmm. Especially when you're 360 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I can bench press 600 pounds. I mean, and I'm quick. I mean, I know I don't have any martial arts belts. I never make it that far. I always end up getting excused. Could you outlift Big Boy? Who the heck is that? I don't know. I can outlift a lot of people. You're not tough, Wolf. That's your opinion. Thule. Yeah, Thule, I recognize you. You've actually seen me fight multiple times. A lot of people have here in Austin. Go ask, there's a bunch of people on my Facebook. Go ask Squid. He's on my face. Polly Squid. Go ask Chico. I mean, they've seen me fight. I mean, Anthony's sitting right here. He's seen me fight.
Steph O'Connell says, I have a white belt. ... Back up slowly.
I mean, Chief's been on my show. He has a school, Arcanum Combat. He's seen me fight. Okay? I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm tired of talking about that. It's dumb. We're not here to talk about fighting. We're here to talk about paranormal, whatever. All these people who want to talk crap, whatever. You're in for a reality check. Steve C, 1994, one hit and you be down. Sure. Whatever you say, buddy. I hope I don't ever meet him in a dark alley. Oh. So I got stories about demons. Yeah, actually, that's another one. We're going to do one soon. It's going to be, I don't know exactly what Anthony's going to name it, but it's a possession story from Brazil. So it's a Brazilian exorcist, I guess I could call it. I don't know what we're going to call it. But yeah, we're going to do that one. That'll be coming up. Who would win, Sasquatch or Dogman? At chess? Mothman stories. Yeah, we've covered what I believe to be Mothman a couple times on PRT. The Sin City episode in particular has a pretty good one. I tell you what, everybody's asking about the Skinwalker story at Cabela's. If I can't find a place for it to talk about it, I mean, it's a weird story, but it's not like super interesting. I mean, it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not like terrifying or anything like that. I'm just convinced that that's what it was. But I'll tell you what: if you guys meet me back here on Tuesday, I'll tell that story. If I can't find a place for it in the next week or so, I'm looking through my files to try to find a place to put it. Cryptids, paranormal phenomena in California. Yeah, there's a ton of it. Your opinion of mountain monsters? It's entertainment. I mean, I've seen a couple episodes. I think maybe 2 episodes, and it's pretty goofy. I don't know. Thule, when is my story going to be on? You know what? Don't we have the clip from Thule when we talked to Thule?
Yeah, we still got it.
Yeah, we can maybe, can we put that on maybe next week and play it?
Yeah.
Maybe next week, Thule. Maybe we'll play it because it's got some funny stuff too. But we got to make sure we censor it. You go in and I would say go in and edit it so you can get it ready for next Tuesday, and then we can. I'm just reading all these great comments. How come Dogman doesn't kill people? How do you know they don't? I mean, this you're talking about something we have no proof of exists. So if someone is killed or they die, do you think they're going to say, yeah, a werewolf killed this person or Dogman killed this person? No, they're not. So officially, they've never killed anyone. And I think it's kind of aggravating too. People are constantly pointing that out. Like, they've never killed anyone. They never hurt anyone. Not true. Paranormal potluck episode coming up. You know what? I might do that. I might do a paranormal potluck episode just so I can put that Skinwalker story in there. Aaron Warren, you're talking about videos you sent. Dude, I see so much stuff. Resend it to me. Or send it to me in Messenger or however you want to do it. I agree with you, Christian Arredondo. The police were told not to report any killings done by Dogman. They're not going to come out and say it. I mean, that's never going to happen. Like, what? It's a creature that we have not proven exists. They're not going to say, yes, this person was killed by a Dogman. They're going to say it was a dog. Or, and then there's these idiots that are kind of in that same group of the flesh and blood people. They also believe that these things are just some innocent animal. What animal walks upright like a humanoid? Okay, there's no animal that walks upright like a humanoid, and that's ridiculous. And then they say, "Oh, these physical flesh and blood dogman creatures, they don't hurt anybody, and they've never killed anybody, and blah blah blah." Okay, whatever you say. Sarah Barley. I was on episode 55 when I talked about my encounter. That was the first time I was ever on Vic's show on Dogman Encounters. Enrique Salinas, thank you for your donation. Mermaids. Oh man, actually, I'm actually working on that right now. Anthony Wallace. It's one of the projects I'm doing is getting stories for mermaids. They're not nice, benevolent creatures like people try to make them out to be either. I've also been on episodes 58, 59, 116, 136, 137, 169, 186, 188, 247 and 248, and 300 of Dogman Encounters. Yes, I've given Vic a lot of my work. A lot of my stories that I've gotten. All right, folks. We're going to wrap this up. I got about 15 more minutes here. The centaur story. I got about four. Now I got 4 different centaur stories. All of them involve like kids. It's weird. Like them seeing them as children. Except for one. Ghost Bunny, you sent me 2 centaur stories. If you did, can you resend them? Because I don't remember reading them. Did this dogman a primate entity? I don't know. You know, there could be multiple things going on with this. I think you're correct, Shirley. Anyone ever see the woods glow at night? I hear a lot of people talk about that. I don't remember you sending me a video proving the existence of Dogman. Hard to dance with the devil on your back? What does that mean? Do I think any of these rare mystical creatures are natural? Natural in what way? Naturally, natural in their own way. Not naturally occurring in the physical sense, I don't believe, but Comal County, yeah, where the Comanche cursed that part, and Comal means Shadowland. If you just drive through that area, you get weird feelings, especially if you're at night. And that area has a lot of weird activity of not just ghosts, but cryptids too. Cassidy Rose. Hi, Cassidy. Are we going to get another Goatman show anytime in the future? In fact, yes, at 10 o'clock when the show ends, I will be setting up to record with Ryan for A Whisper to a Scream, and that's his podcast, and that will air on Sunday, I believe. Our show on Friday will be Carrie Eaton. She runs the Dogman Believers Only group, and she was our guest. It'll be a 2-part show, and part 1 will air on Friday, and she's got some pretty interesting stuff pertaining to Dogman, Bigfoot, and a werewolf encounter. And she hasn't talked a lot about it. Says, thanks, Josh, for the years of good shows. Thank you for listening. John Hinojosa, do you have any stories of people hearing whistling? Yes, and particularly with Lechusa. The directions to the Dogman Church, go ahead and find it. Can't give a lot of coordinates, just like Church of the Forgotten. I can't, which isn't actually there anymore. It's been apparently rubbled, but you can't really, just give out coordinates and then something happens and then you're liable. I have to be very careful. Where has Sal been? I don't know. At his house, running errands for his wife. That's pretty much it. Yes, the sad thing about that is if he would have stuck it out, he would have, reaped the benefits of a show that was on the rise, but he just didn't want to pay his part, so. Cassidy Rose has a question. Did you read it?
Yeah.
Should I answer that?
It's up to you.
Do I trust Marvin Allen's stories? The fact that I've been told that he's messed people's stories up. In fact, Dick Richards and me was talking about that earlier. I mean, I don't really care. He can go on Dogman Encounters 1,000 times. I mean, the fact that people have told me that he's messed up their stories right there tells you. Some of his stories too are pretty. I mean, I don't know. But, people give you stories and, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to put that out there or whether or not it's believable enough to put it out there. I have a lot of people, like if I were to give you a number, I would say 70 to 80% of the people that I've talked to tell me they don't trust him and know not to trust him. But he does have this cult-like following through Dogman Encounters because of Vic and Vic's just incessant promotion of that guy. So, not me and Vic are cool, we're friends, whatever. But I don't know. The whole thing with Marvin, I've already gone over it with him, and we've talked about it, and it just seems like, Marvin, I don't know. He's kind of just doing his thing, whatever. And I'm not going to be a part of it. I was going to go on his show and I had agreed and kind of pestered me about it, but he wanted a Q&A about the Hernandez Ranch. But his little group of sycophants are very rabidly anti-me. And they put him up on this pedestal and they think he's great, and so be it. I was getting attacked in his live chat and getting attacked on his show. He actually went on the air and attacked me. And I called in and I set him straight. And through subsequent conversations, I also found that he has dealings with Ryan's old co-host and that they're buddies. And so the company he keeps and the people that he, has not done things correctly with. It just makes me think I'm not going to deal with that. So I have no plans to ever work with him or deal with him. He can take that how he wants. If he wants to go at me and attack me, so be it. I really don't care. You don't scare me even a little bit. And I don't care about, being friends with him or the other guy who's got the government agents and all that. I mean, I think they're all just doing what they're doing. And they have these people who believe they're bullcrap. And so that's just not something that it's just something that I'm not on board with, so. Yeah, I agree that some of the stuff that's gone on in Dogman Encounters and like as of late has been, I don't know. I mean, just bringing Marvin on over and over again, was it like 3 times in the last month or something? I don't know, dude. And plus he's hard to listen to. I can't, I just can't. Doug, man, whatever. I mean, I just can't get on board with it. So I don't know. If you want to listen to him and blow smoke, go ahead. Yeah, that's going to be it, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I don't get the appeal either. I mean, if somebody just sits there and says Doug Man 100 times, I mean, and here's the truth, the honest truth. I mean, I was going to keep my word to this guy and go on his show, but he had too many issues. Too many people coming to me and telling me that he was not on the up and up. That happened multiple times. And then him just not being professional, trying to listen to one of his shows, and there was like an alarm going off in the background or something. I'm just going like, I don't want to be affiliated with that. I don't want to be associated with that. I don't know how Vic does it. I don't know what he's, I guess he's, I don't know what his deal is with that. I don't freaking care. I don't know. I don't care to figure it out. I don't care to know. I'm just going to wash my hands of all that. So I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do PRT. I'm going to deal with who I deal with, bring guests on who I bring guests on, and if, whatever. I don't know. I just had a hard time listening to him, and I thought this isn't going to be good for me to go on this guy's unprofessional show and, too many people telling me, hey, he did me wrong, he didn't tell the story correctly, and blah, 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 blah. And at least a couple of those people I know 100% were being honest. I mean, some of these people may have had a vendetta against him, they didn't like him, they had some problems, but at least 2 of those people I know for sure were being completely honest about that, and I trust their word and I believe it. And I just, I just was like, I'm not going to do this. That'll be a bad move. Not only that, but I don't go on a lot of other people's shows. I mean, if you've noticed that, I'm not spreading myself around because I do have a very big business that I do. David Marks, that's a funny comment. I have a thriving security company business, and I just don't have time. I don't have time to, I just don't. Any other channel recommendations that are legit? Ryan's channel, Whisper to a Scream. I don't listen to a lot of other. I just don't. I don't know. What are some other good podcasts you can think of?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow paranormal podcasts.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't have time.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, and I've never really listened to Vic's show a whole lot. Says Josh, are y'all going to have another show with that lady who spoke about life after death? Yeah, that was Laura Ketchledge. And it got the least views. The second episode, which I thought was a good episode, and it got the least views of any of our shows. My audience, you know, I really would like to open up our audience more to this, you know, to more than just Dogman. But it's just, you know, I can't really shake that's always going to be something that I'm going to be a part of, because that's where I did a lot of my research. And Says Darkness Prevails. That's actually a pretty good channel. I guess there you go. That one, Supernaturalist, I guess, is pretty good. Sasquatch Chronicles. I can't listen to him. I don't like. I've tried a couple times. There was this guy talking about this Bigfoot's raising children. I don't know. It was awful. I don't know. I think a lot of these people just do whatever they do. Yeah, I mean, Darkness Prevails. I mean, he's got stuff on there. My wife used to listen to him, so that's why I said him. And, you know, I don't know if his stories are real or not. I just heard my wife listening to him a couple times. She doesn't really listen to him that much anymore, but yes, I have Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook if you want to. And please let me know that you're a listener of the show so I can approve you. Yeah, Brenton Solomon, that's unfortunate that his kids just pretty much destroyed his channel or whatever. That's sad. Cassie Rose, once again, episode 55 on Dogman Encounters. Yeah, Curtis, I thought it was one of my better episodes too, but that person was just talking about Oaxaca, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of, there was a story we had out of that area. Well, anyways, I remember just telling a story about it or reading a story about it. I can't remember. So, folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for everyone who donated and helped out with the show. I'm going to be going to record now with Ryan. We're going to be doing the Goatman episode. And like I said, that's going to come out on Sunday. This Friday will be the interviews or discussions we had with Carrie Eaton, who's her and Cindy Respotnik are the head of the group Dogman Believers Only on Facebook. So hit me up on Facebook, join our group. We're almost at 5,000 people on our Facebook group. We're at like 13,300, I think, on YouTube, and there's a whole bunch of them on Spotify. A whole bunch of people. We have quite a few listeners. So, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. As always, I enjoyed being here, and thank you for listening to me talk and complain about stuff and whatever else. I just want to do the best I can for you. I really do. I want to bring you the best. I want to bring the best of myself to you, to give you the best stories. I want to give you that commitment that I'm trying my best to do whatever I can to bring you quality. And not just quantity. And I'm not going to censor people's stories. If somebody comes on and talks about Dogman and they've had poltergeist activity in the house, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to leave stuff out, which is what a lot of people do. And I'm sure now that, cat's out of the bag, I'll probably be getting attacked by the dig pack too, because, but I really don't care. And these people, I don't care about them. I don't care about the Fringeaholics. I don't care about any of these morons that, if you're going to listen to the garbage out there, go ahead. But our show, we try to bring you quality. And there's only a few of us seems to be doing that still. The rest is all about views or money or whatever the heck they're trying to do. Here's the thing. I don't do this for the money because I have a thriving business. Okay? And I could easily just shut this down. And it's not going to affect me financially a bit. In fact, I'll probably save money because I'm spending way more money on this than I am, getting money, whatever. I have a job. I have a business partner with a security company, and his company does well. We do well. I don't. We're busy. We're slammed. We got like a dozen accounts going right now, and I'm talking 12 to 24 hour, a day counts. So, not hurting for money as far as like needing to survive, but this show needs to be able to pay for itself and stand on its own. That's the only catch, because then I end up having to do this. I'm taking days off from work, 3-4 days, to do recording. Like tonight, I have to do not only this because I took off tonight, but I have to pay somebody to work for me. And then I have to pay somebody to work for Anthony, and then we have to record with Ryan tonight because we can't take off another night this week. And then Anthony has to edit the show and have it out by Friday, and then he has to go to work. So it's very hectic. So it would actually be financially more feasible for us to just shut down doing this, and just focus on our business. But we do this because I enjoy it, my wife enjoys it, Anthony enjoys it. We all enjoy it. Tony has just not been able to be a part of it because he's just working all the time. He just can't do it. And so we're very, very busy. And so, yep, that's what's going on. But I don't do this for being famous or making money, I'm as well known as I need to be. A lot of people know who I am. Just you come around Austin or anywhere in Texas, people don't know who the heck I am for different reasons too. A lot of people know me for various other adventures in my life, not just doing this. So I already did, with my life, what I'm going to do. I don't need to go out and make a name for myself. I don't, all I'm doing, I'm just trying to do this because I enjoy it. I like talking to researchers and authors and other podcasters who are not insane, and talking about the paranormal, talking about cryptids and alien encounters and whatever else they got going on. That's Fortean, Fortean, Fortean. Go look the word up if you know what it means. That's kind of what I do. I'm a Fortean researcher, and I try to bring you, the best that I can of these informations and or this information about these subjects. That's it. I don't do it because I want to make money. So, but I appreciate the donations because it helps the show keep going. Because it helps pay for the money we lose for not being at work. But like I said, we're not doing this to make it big money. There's no big money being made here. We're barely making enough money to pay for the show, and then we're actually, like I said, spending money to make it right now. Corey Cole, how can I get in contact with you? PR is Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com. Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com. Send me a friend request on Facebook, and we can talk through Messenger. Anybody out there, I'm willing to talk. I get 30 messages a day, but I try to look at every single one of them. I wake up and the first thing I do is say my prayer, and I'm off and running, and I look at my messages on the Messenger, and I go to my emails, and I try to read as much as I can. So. Yeah, I told Nellie to come on and do the show with me last Tuesday, and she declined. But, okay, folks, I'm out.